I'd just like to take a few minutes to talk to you about what I call the Creative Management Challenge. And this is something that I've done with a few audiences. I like to do every now and then. I haven't actually done it for a while. But there's four questions that I like to ask people. Now, the first one, it's an easy one. How do you get a giraffe into a refrigerator? How do you get a giraffe into a refrigerator? Have a think about that. Write down the answer to these very quickly. There's only four of them. So write that down, make a note of it, whatever. Number two, how do you get an elephant into a refrigerator? So write the answer to that down as quickly as you can, and let's move on. The king of the jungle, depends which jungle you're in, but let's call it the lion. The king of the jungle is having a party. He's having a big old party. All the animals have been invited, every single one. But one animal's not there. Who is it? And finally, the very last and fairly easy question, I would think. You're standing by the bank of an alligator-infested river, and you need to get across to the other side. What do you do? So I'll let you think about that last one just for a few seconds. Now, I bet you're wondering why on earth I asked those. Now, I'm not going to tell you right now. We'll leave that to the end. But how do you get the giraffe into the refrigerator? Some people have gone, ha ha ha, this is a trick question. So what did you answer? Did you say? Some people will still say, that's impossible. You can't get a giraffe into a refrigerator. Well, all I told you was you had to get a giraffe into a refrigerator. I didn't say that it was a real giraffe. Didn't say how big the giraffe was. I didn't say how big your refrigerator was. All I said was giraffe and refrigerator. It could have been an inflatable giraffe. You could have stuck a pin in, wait for it to deflate, screwed it up into a ball, put it into the refrigerator. I've had people say, oh, just chop it up, kill it, chop it up, put it in a blender, which isn't nice, but it's a valid answer to that question. So how do you get an elephant into a refrigerator? Well, the answer's obvious, isn't it? Well, is it? Well, you can take the giraffe out and put the elephant in. That would make enough space. You could have one of those really big American-style refrigerators, and you might be able to put a giraffe and an elephant in. So the same thing goes. I gave you what could be an incomplete set of boundaries, or maybe that was deliberate. Maybe the idea was to see what you can think of. Now, by the third one, people are starting to get the hang of this. The king of the jungle's had a party. All the animals have been invited. Who's not there? Well, the logical people among you will have said, well, the elephant's in the refrigerator, so he's not there. I didn't say that the giraffe had been taken out, so maybe the elephant wasn't there, maybe the giraffe wasn't there also. But other people might not have been there, because there could have been a party somewhere else in the jungle. And the final question, how do you get across to the other side of this alligator-infested river? Well, the really logical people will have realised that the alligators were also at the party. So the answer is, you could just swim across. That part of the world might have an Uber speedboat taxi service. Who knows? The point of these questions is that some people will get fooled by the first one. Some people will say, aha, that's a trick question. I know the answer to that. And then they will get one and two. Maybe number three, they might think, oh, I'm onto a thing here. But a lot of people fail at number four. But the point is, there is no right answer to any of them. What it's all about doing is getting an answer, and the richer, the more creative, the better, but getting an answer that actually fits the question. And so many do. There's probably, I don't know, several thousand, million possible variants of answers to those. So much so that I actually found out recently that the Indian Civil Service actually used this question in their entrance examination, bizarrely enough. But where did this come from? Does it come from my head? No. It actually came from a company used to be called Anderson Consulting, now called Accenture. They asked this question of managers around the world. And what they wanted to do was see what sort of answers they gave. They gave the same sort of questions to children. And who do you think came up with the best answers? Not necessarily the right answers, the best answers. You probably already know the answer to this. It's 6-year-old children. And that's because they haven't been conditioned to think in these ways. They don't make assumptions. And that's the problem. We make assumptions. So just a little test. Have a think about it. You can use this. You could use this as a test if you really wanted to. But the next time somebody gives you a problem to solve or a situation to explore, think about the boundaries, the ones that really are there and the ones that you've imagined and put in place. Bye for now.